Hey, yo, peace, family. So the title of this video is "The System is Using Us, so we might as well use them." All right, so a lot of us are still pretty confused as to what's taking place right now, within our system. We are, as a common folk people, we are struggling in certain aspects of the economic system. Majority of it is the cost of living. If you guys are watching YouTube at any point in time, you notice that the majority of people right now are crying and complaining about the cost of living, and it's really bad right now. You know what I'm saying? It's at the point that people are willing to do whatever it takes in order to, earn a little bit of money, or, to make ends meet. Because we have a society that is so unbalanced. And people think that this society is going to continue on as fruitful and, everlasting, and people really got that concept in their head, but when you know the information that I know, and you've done a lot of research, and you really study, how time works, how, civilizations work, how they were in the past, how they are to the future. The way this society is running is not going to sustain. And no matter how much they try to promote AI to you as if AI is going to be the savior of how things are playing out right now. Now, AI at some point is going to have a very strong feature, okay? But that's so much further down the line, right? We're talking about the time frame right now, in the next 5 years, you know what I'm saying? And so on, the next 10 years. It's like AI is not going to save such a situation as what we have today. And the reason being is because, like I said, the oligarchs and the elites, they have a special agenda, and they plan to ride this out as much as they can by using you. They want to suck as much energy and life out of you as humanly possible, so that way they can feed their family and themselves. But the problem is that type of pyramid scheme cannot sustain, okay? And the reason why I'm bringing this message to you guys is because at some point you have to be tired of them, using you the way that they do. They have a bunch of man-made, objectives, man-made laws, man-made narratives, creating things like, inflation and tariffs. And when I say inflation, I don't mean the inflation based off of money. I mean the other definitions, the other terms like funflation, stealthflation, stagflation, those, because those are what they use to reorder the products in order to sell them to you at a higher price, but they shorthand you. They give you the short end of the stick so they can make more money on the top. That's what I mean. And then you got the tariffs, obviously. Tariffs is man-made for sure, going around and, trying to strong arm other countries and stuff like that, and tell them that they got to pay more of this and pay more of that, you know what I'm saying? But in the end result, the person that's paying the most is actually you as a citizen of the country. You're the one paying more, right? Not the elites, not the oligarchs. You're paying more. And when I say that it's time for you to start using the system, that's exactly what the fuck I mean. Because there's ways that, us as people can get together in order to rock their shit. You know what I'm saying? And how you do these type of things. You guys have to understand that they run all of their scam and their schemes and their monetary agendas through the banks. Okay? So if we could just get our money out of the banking system as much as we can, slowly, over a period of time, and just clean that motherfucker out of the Chase banks and the Wells Fargos and the Bank of Americas. Just start bringing that phony ass money out of there that belongs to you, and start stuffing it, into credit unions, into Bitcoin, stuff like that. Because then you're gonna start to wake them up, because when they realize that they can't use your little money, between you and then Jason and Eric and Natalie, they can't use all of these different accounts in order to fund their, so-called, black budget and all of these hidden agenda fucking things that they say they use them for, right? Because a lot of you guys don't know, within the banks, once you deposit money into the bank, that money is no longer yours. It belongs to the bank. And they put a digital ledger up just to give you a source of awareness that you have the money in an institution, and supposedly they're protecting it, but they're actually using it in order to fund their own primary investments. You guys get that? So what I'm telling you is that the only way to play their game and to start using them as a system is to start slowly taking that money out, rolling that money out, taking it out. It doesn't have to be all at once. Even if we did do that, that would fuck them up even worse. But we don't have to do it like that. Slowly take it out, establish credit union, Bitcoin, things decentralized. I mean, credit unions is not decentralized because they somewhat use some type of small, banking, insurance, but at the same time, it's not on the largest scale as your average commercial bank. So it would be better if you use a credit union, because with a credit union, that you can still, utilize your normal, bills and payment situations and all the things that you do on a normal basis. You can still use that with. I even say that if you want to use mobile banking, you could do that. That's not the greatest either, because they kind of use, the FDIC and all that. But even if you use them, you still, you're taking away from the powerhouses, the Chases, the Wells Fargos, the Bank of Americas, and fucking rocking they shit. Because they, like I said, they run all of their bullshit through the banks. That's why when things happen, like the incident that happened with what is that bank called? It was a massive bank. It's not Union. It wasn't Union Bank. It was I can't really catch it, but if you look it up, it was a bank that was holding money for the cartels back in the day. And they were partners with, the major banks on Wall Street. And they was harboring money for the cartels. And they got fucking caught. And somebody was a whistleblower. And they got caught. And what did the consequences come out for that bank? Tap on the wrist. Nobody goes to prison. Nobody gets any fines. They just say, hey, look, don't do that shit again. Don't harbor money for the... Hold on. Yeah. Don't harbor money for the most notorious terrorist gangs in the entire world. Don't do that again. That's what the law said, right? So what I'm saying is that to take the strength and to use the system against the system, you have to learn how to funnel your resources out of these banks. And I'm going to burn it into your heads as much as you can, as much as I can, so that way you can understand where I'm coming from. Because no, you don't need a bank as much as they make it seem like you do. You can use a credit union. You can use Bitcoin to send funds back and forth. No, you cannot use Bitcoin to go and buy some fucking coffee for $4. No, at least not right now. But you can use your credit union debit card, and you can use your mobile banking debit card. Okay? So listen, as I say, they're going to use you. So at some point, you need to start using them. But that's all I got for you guys. Like and subscribe. Thanks for checking us out. And remember, the truth's in session. All right, peace.